This video will describe the work breakdown structure, why it's important, and how to create it. The work breakdown structure, or WBS, is an organized list of project deliverables broken down into tasks or work packages. Every project requires a work breakdown structure. Based on our extensive experience, we strongly recommend that you create a manual WBS with post-it notes before entering schedule information into Smartsheet or any other software. Creating a post-it note WBS will produce a graphical view of the project, which is an excellent tool for brainstorming and verifying project scope. A post-it WBS will meet the needs of both right and left-brained dominant people. It's a picture plus the logic. Using this simple approach will create clarity. The project name goes at the top. The next level contains the deliverables. A deliverable is a thing. It should sound like a noun. Sometimes deliverables are big and need to be broken down into sub-deliverables. Sub-deliverables are also things, nouns. Deliverables and sub-deliverables are not necessarily one-word nouns, but the label should sound like things. Some deliverables are easily identified as things. Some may be a little more difficult. Why is it important to identify the things the project will produce? Because you can describe a thing in a way that everyone can recognize it when you work on it and implement it. Some examples include a report, descriptions, specifications, training plan, training material, agreement, and so on. Projects produce things that previously didn't exist or modify existing things. Deliverables and subdeliverables are created by doing work. Work is a task. Sometimes multiple tasks are combined into a work package and assigned to a resource, department, or subcontractor. Sometimes a work package in one project is significant enough that it needs to be managed as a project by the assigned resource, department, or subcontractor. In that case, you would have a project within a project. Tasks and work packages should start with a verb like create, develop, research, acquire, design, gather, negotiate, and so on. Tasks and work packages are what gets scheduled. We strongly recommend not going beyond 3 levels in your work breakdown structure: deliverables, subdeliverables, and tasks or work packages. When you add more levels, you'll be adding complexity that will be harder to manage. Here's a simple example of a work breakdown structure. The project is a pasta dinner. The deliverables are the main course, salad, wine, and setting. The main course has the subdeliverables of sauce and pasta. The setting has the subdeliverables of table and atmosphere. The tasks to produce the deliverables and subdeliverables all start with a verb. As the name implies, the work breakdown structure breaks down the work. It does not indicate sequence across deliverables. Notice that the first task under sauce, pasta, salad, and wine is the task purchase. If this dinner is today, then we'll purchase all 4 items today. If the dinner isn't for another 3 weeks, then we could purchase the sauce, pasta, and wine today, but not the salad until it's closer to the dinner. The network diagram is used to determine sequence. You can create the WBS by either going top-down or bottom-up. Top-down is starting with the project goals and objectives and decomposing the project into its deliverables by asking what needs to change, be created, or produced. Then identify the tasks and work packages required to produce the deliverables. Some people are more comfortable starting with a list of tasks. As the list is created, group the tasks according to the deliverables that will be produced and summarize upward to the project goals. When you group tasks under the deliverable, you will usually identify additional tasks required to produce the deliverable. Either approach is fine. In fact, it's helpful to do both. Here's another example, a training project with 4 deliverables, 2 of which have subdeliverables, and then the tasks or work packages. One more example, this time with project management added as a deliverable. All work within the project must be in the WBS. That includes the work of planning and managing the project. Project management is the first deliverable for all projects. Not all projects need all 6 phases of the project process. A 2-week project may only need 2 phases. The planning phase of create the WBS, develop the schedule, assign the tasks, and monitor the work, and the second phase being post-op. Then identify, break down the solution deliverables. Here's an important rule for managing project scope. If it's in the WBS, it's in the project. If it's not in the WBS, it's not in the project. Ideas and suggestions that don't fit the needs for the current project go on a list for possibly being part of the next version or a different project. The basic project advisor already has typical project management work identified. You may want to delete items that aren't needed or modify items to best meet your needs. When you create the WBS for your project, most of your focus needs to be on the solution deliverables. Creating the work breakdown structure. Position enough flip chart paper on a flat wall surface for your project. Landscape may give you more horizontal space. Use 3x5 post-it notes so you have enough space to write. Bargain brands don't stick as well as 3M. The sponsor and project manager can review and update the project management work, while the core team focuses on identifying the solution deliverables, subdeliverables, tasks, and our work packages. By the way, you don't always need a subdeliverable. One typical challenge for newcomers to this work is deciding what's a deliverable and what's a task or work package. Don't worry about it when creating the first version for any project, even after you've done this work for a while. Just get the post-its up. Deciding the level of detail is another typical question. We suggest that you err on the side of less is better, while considering the resource that will do the work. If it's assigned to a new or unknown resource, you want to manage more detail than if it's assigned to a known, competent resource. This is an iterative process. Work on it until the energy starts to wane, and then come back to it. Hopefully by now you see why we suggest using post-it notes and facilitating the team through this exercise before putting it into any software. Let it sit for a few days and then come back to it. Have the sponsor, key stakeholders, and task or work package owners review and update it. There's no magic number for how many times it needs to be reviewed and updated. It's done when the core team, sponsor, key stakeholders, task and work package owners agree that it's done. Identifying all the work at this point in the project is cheaper and less of an issue than uncovering surprises later in the project. For critical projects, have someone do step 6. I suggest you use the slide to guide the exercise and have someone follow these steps. When you're satisfied, then put it into Smartsheet.